In this episode, I go over my top 5 picks for New Comic Book Day coming out next week, September 7th, 2022. What is up, everybody? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'm going over my top 5 picks for New Comic Book Day coming out next week, September 7th, 2022. Yes, I said September. I know, I can't believe the summer's already gone. Football's here, though, so I'm really excited for that. And of course, as always, it is another great week for comic books. So many, in fact, I kept it to 5, but I tell you now, there's going to be a lot more than 5 that I will be reading this coming week. And of course, but stick around, because after these 5, I will go over these top 5. I'll go over my cover buy of the week. But take a moment, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Big shout out to the Premier Chat. As always, thanks so much for hanging out with me here on this Thursday afternoon. But let's get right into the list. I'm going to start off at number 5, and yes, it is a Batman book. I know, a new Batman title coming out here, but I had to put it on here. It is Batman Dear Detective issue number 1. One of the main reasons why I had to include it on my top 5 here, and something I'm looking forward to. I know a lot of people that are just like, oh, another Batman title, like, why don't they change it up or whatever. But look, this series right here stood out to me because it is by Lee Bermejo. And yes, no, not just the cover, not just some of the artwork, but the entire thing is by Lee Bermejo. He's writing it, he's doing the artwork for it, and I'm just, I already talked about him from the past, I think it was a week or two, when he did some of the Action Comics stuff. The artwork in general, he's always stood out to me. His art is just so realistic, so detailed. And so now to see that he's, doing some writing, I haven't read any of his work before. But I certainly want to sign up for it. Definitely want to give it a shot. So I don't care that it's another Bat title. Bring on all the Bat titles. I'm down to continue to read more of the character, because he's that damn good, obviously, the character Batman. But also Lee Bermejo, really looking forward to, just seeing what he does with the character, not just from an art perspective, but also from a writing perspective. So that's going to be my number 5 pick of the week, Batman Dear Detective issue number 1. Let's get into my number 4 pick, and I will warn you, there's a lot of DC on this list right now, but coming in at number 4 is this book here, Dark Knights of Steel, Tales from the Three Kingdoms, issue number 1. This, of course, is tying into the Tom Taylor stuff that has been coming out right now. There's my dog. He's really excited, too. I'll tell you, it is rare that I have a Tom Taylor book that's not number 1. I know, I hear you. I know, it's crazy. So I have this at number 4. It's kind of a tie-in to what he's been doing with the Dark Steel stuff. So, I don't want to put it up at the very top, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. And so, yeah, I don't know much else about it. The artwork looks a little cartoony. CS Packet doing the... Oh, no, sorry. The CS Packet is also doing the writing along with Jay Kristoff. Okay, so there's 3 writers on here. It looks like there's 3 different stories that are going to be told here. Nathan Gooden listed as the artist, the main artist. The cover art here by Neil Googe. And there's a bunch of covers, including a Dan Mora cover, which I'll probably be buying. But anyways, the Dark Knights of Steel stuff, if you're not reading the main title, you certainly should be. It's a very, very good read. They're about halfway through it right now, so I know we still have another 6 issues to go or so. Again, anything Tom Taylor writing, I'm all in, so sign me up for that stuff. But yeah, that's going to be my number 4 pick of the week, Dark Knights of Steel, Tales from the Three Kingdoms, issue number 1. Going into my number 3, it is another big event here, and again, DC, Dark Crisis. I've been hooked. I've been absolutely hooked. It's a 7-issue series or event, but there's been a ton of tie-ins, including, the Flash and the Titans and a bunch of others. So, but this Dark Crisis being the main, the main story arc or the main event. And the main thing that has pulled me into it is Joshua Williamson. He's been doing a great job with it. Love the direction he's been going with it. I've never really gotten into any of the Crisis DC events before. I got into this one, and I'm really glad that I did. I like the direction it's going in, as the Justice League are dead, and so it leaves the rest of the team to kind of deal with all the havoc that's going on right now, all the chaos. And then of course we're getting like visits from this guy Pariah, who is like kind of the main villain in all this, who's bringing this massive army into their world, into current Earth, and it's really up to the rest of the superheroes, the non-Justice League guys, to kind of save this. So looking forward to more of that as well. I've been really enjoying the event, and I will say I do feel it's very reader friendly. New reader friendly. So if you never got into this stuff before, like myself, never was a big DC reader up until this past year and a half or so with Nightwing, just started giving everything a shot and really, really enjoying it. Like I love what DC is doing just in general. And again, this is being written by Joshua Williamson. Daniel Samper doing the artwork here and also the cover art for this particular one that we're looking at. There's a ton of a ton of variants. Seems like there is every issue. I personally have been trying to collect all the foils. So the foil cover A's, whatever letter that is, but whatever the cover A is without the title and whatnot, and just having it foil. So that's been my thing with this series. But yeah, so that's going to be my number 3 pick of the week, Dark Crisis, issue number 4 of 7. So we're a little more than halfway now. So keep an eye out for more of that. Going into my number 2 pick of the week, I'm going with Poison Ivy issue number 4. Yes, another DC book. Hey, I warned you. I did warn you. G. Willow Wilson doing a just absolutely fantastic job with this series. It is so dark and beautiful, and we're starting to see different aspects of what Poison Ivy's kind of going through as she's, from the beginning kind of wanted to launch this plan to really take out humanity, right? And with that, the last issue, we kind of saw this heartfelt side of her where she was working side by side with this woman and setting up a new garden. And I think that kind of brought back some reminders to Poison Ivy of like humanity in general. And maybe, I don't know, maybe she shouldn't, go on with the plan that she's trying to do of taking everybody out. But at the same time, she's reminded that there are bad people as well. And ultimately, humans destroying the world and destroying themselves. So yeah, just love the overall story to where she's going with this. It's only 5 issues, I think, altogether. So we get 2 more here for issue 4, issue 5. But the artwork's fantastic. Let's see. Marcio Takara doing the artwork. He's been on it from the beginning and absolutely gorgeous. And of course, there's a ton of covers. I find myself buying at least 2 or 3 every time that these variants come out with each issue. So I see Jenny Frison is very much involved here amongst others. So can't help it. But yeah, so that is going to be my number 2 pick of the week. Easily could be number 1. Easily. It is that good. So definitely, again, another new reader-friendly book. You could definitely jump into this and just enjoy it for what it is. But yeah, so definitely recommend it as well. That's going to be my number 2. Poison Ivy issue number 4. And before I get into the last book here and my cover buy of the week, just want to remind you, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Appreciate that as always. Nothing major coming up here, but, chugging along with reading and knocking out my to-be read list little by little. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this top 5 list. If there's certain books that you're looking forward to next week, or if there's anything I missed, would love to hear it. So let me know about that as well. But let's get into my number 1 pick, and that's going to be, a Marvel book. That's right. Yes. And it is, of course, I can't leave out my X-Men. Immortal X-Men issue number 6. This is a Judgment Day tie-in. Judgment Day being the main Marvel event going on right now, and one that I've absolutely been loving every tie-in to and reading. I didn't note it here. I didn't do an honorable mentions this time around, but there are, I think, 3 or 4 Judgment Day tie-ins that are coming out this week coming up. So it's not just this one that I'm talking about, but this is the one I wanted to put up here. So this is the Immortal X-Men. The Immortal X-Men series as a whole has been... between that and X-Men Red, they've been my favorite. Like the 2 of them together have just been so good. And I really appreciate everything that the writers have been doing, the creators have been doing ever since Hickman did what he did. I talk about this all the time, but I love how Hickman launched everything that he did 2 years ago. Now we're here with new writers, new creators that have kind of carried things on over the past, I don't know, I guess 6 months to a year. But, Kieran Gillen here, he's been kind of carrying the torch for this particular series, along with the Axe Judgment Day main event title. So, anything that he's basically doing, I'm down with it. And, on top of that, we have Lucas Wernick who's been doing the artwork, which has been absolutely gorgeous as well. This artwork here, though, that we're looking at, the cover art is Mark Brooks, and he's been every single issue, just killing it. I bought every cover A. I bought the Virgin variant of issue 2. Tempted to get 3. I will probably get 4. Sebastian Shaw here just looking absolutely wicked here with the fire going around him. Kind of this, Dark Phoenix Saga vibe. So, yeah, Mark Brooks, yeah, can't pass it up. But anyways, Immortal X-Men, there's a ton that goes on with this. I won't get into all the details. But if you haven't been reading it, again, this is not as reader-friendly or new reader-friendly as some of those other titles I talked about earlier. This is some stuff that you probably got to do some back reading on, get caught up with where the X-Men are just in general, and Krakoa and everything else that's going on right now. But for those who have been following along, I hope you're reading this one too. I know there's a lot of X titles out there, but I hope you're reading this one too. If there's only a few to read, this is definitely one to keep in there. I should put it that way. But otherwise, that's it. That's gonna be my number 1 pick of the week. Immortal X-Men issue number 6. Make sure you check it out. The cover buy of the week. Let's jump into that real quick. I am actually going to go with this book right here. It's Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, issue number 4 of 4. I kind of fell off the Nubia stuff. Haven't been reading it as much. Just been tied up with all these other events going on between DC and Marvel. So the Nubia stuff have not really been reading as much. But I didn't want to pass up this beautiful Joelle Jones cardstock variant here. Technically the cover B. Absolutely beautiful artwork. So, and it's Joelle Jones. Love her work just in general. So yeah, wanted to make that my cover buy of the week, and would like to know in the comment section below, what is your cover buy of the week? What is the cover or the artwork that you walk by and you see it in store, and regardless if you're reading it or not, you're just like, yep, I have to have it in my collection. Let me know in the comment section below what that book is for you. Otherwise, that's it. That is my list for New Comic Book Day coming out September 7th, 2022. Let me know what you think. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Again, big shout out to everybody in the premiere chat. Thanks so much for hanging out as always, and until next time, I will talk to you later.